Welcome to our culinary journey through Norway. You lot think you know food? You think those sad, soggy chips you call dinner are impressive? Well, get ready to expand your palates because today, we're counting down the top 10 must-try foods in this beautiful Scandinavian country. We're talking real food with history, with tradition, with flavors that'll knock your socks off. So buckle up, you donkey, and get ready to experience the best Norway has to offer. Right, you lot. First up is rakfisk. This isn't just any fish, it's a culinary adventure that dates back centuries. This isn't some dainty fish and chips, no, this is fermented fish, usually trout or char. The process is meticulous, involving salting and storing the fish in a cool place for months. Yeah, you heard me right, fermented. The fish undergoes a transformation, developing complex flavors that are both challenging and rewarding. It's been buried underground for months, developing a pungent aroma that'll knock you sideways. This method of preservation was essential for survival during harsh Norwegian winters. Some say it's an acquired taste. The first bite might be overwhelming, but it's a flavored journey worth taking. I say it's a bloody rite of passage. If you can handle rakfisk, you can handle anything life throws at you. You try this, you can handle anything. The sense of accomplishment after finishing a plate is unparalleled. This isn't some delicate dish you nibble on, no, you grab some flatbrod, some akvavit, and you dig in. The combination of the crisp flatbrod and the strong, clear akvavit perfectly complements the intense flavors of the rakfisk. The taste? Intense. Earthy, like a punch in the face from 1,000 years of tradition. It's a sensory experience that connects you to the rugged landscapes and resilient people of Norway. You might screw up your face on the first bite, but trust me, there's something addictive about it. The more you eat, the more you appreciate the depth of flavors. It's the taste of history, of survival, of pure, unadulterated Norwegian grit. Each bite is a testament to the ingenuity and perseverance of the Norwegian people, a culinary tradition that has stood the test of time. Next up we've got lutefisk. This, my friends, is dried cod that's been soaked in lye. Yes, lye, the stuff you use to unclog drains. Before you run for the hills, hear me out. It's then soaked in water to remove the harshness and cooked to a jelly-like consistency. Now I know what you're thinking. Gordon, you finally lost it. But trust me on this one. Lutefisk is a Christmas tradition in Norway, and it's surprisingly delicious. It's got this delicate, almost sweet flavor, and it practically melts in your mouth. Serve it up with some boiled potatoes, melted butter, and a side of bacon, and you've got yourself a proper feast. Now let's talk about something a little more approachable, shall we? Kjøttkaker or Norwegian meatballs. These delightful morsels are a staple in Norwegian cuisine, and for good reason. They are hearty, flavorful, and incredibly satisfying. Don't think for a minute that these are like those bland, rubbery things you get at IKEA. No, these are in a league of their own. These are the real deal. Authentic Norwegian kjøttkaker are made with love and tradition, passed down through generations. Made with a mix of ground beef and pork, seasoned to perfection, and pan-fried until they're golden brown and crispy. The meat is tender and juicy, with a perfect balance of flavors. The secret to a good kjøttkaker is all in the gravy. This isn't just any gravy, it's a rich, creamy concoction that elevates the meatballs to a whole new level. It's rich, creamy, and packed with flavor. The gravy seeps into the meatballs, making every bite a burst of deliciousness. Spoon it generously over your meatballs, and serve them up with a side of mashed potatoes, lingonberry jam, and some pickled cucumbers for a bit of acidity. The combination of flavors is simply divine. The pickled cucumbers add a refreshing crunch and a tangy contrast to the rich meatballs and gravy. It's the kind of meal that sticks to your ribs and warms you from the inside out. Perfect for a cold winter's day or anytime you need a comforting, hearty meal. Listen up, you potato lovers, because this one's for you. If you think you know everything about potatoes, think again. We're diving deep into the heart of Norwegian cuisine to explore a dish that's as rich in history as it is in flavor. Raspiboller, also known as komli or kumli depending on where you are in Norway, are potato dumplings that are hearty, flavorful, and as comforting as a warm hug. These dumplings have been a staple in Norwegian households for generations, bringing families together around the dinner table. We're talking grated potatoes, flour, and a touch of salt, all mixed together and formed into these beautiful little dumplings. The process is simple yet satisfying, turning humble ingredients into something truly special. It's a testament to the ingenuity of Norwegian cooking. Now, the way you serve them can vary. Some like them boiled, some prefer them steamed. Each method brings out a different texture and flavor, allowing you to customize the dish to your liking. Boiling gives them a soft, tender texture, while steaming can make them a bit firmer. You can even find them pan-fried for a bit of extra crispiness. This method adds a delightful crunch to the outside while keeping the inside soft and delicious. It's a perfect way to add a new dimension to this classic dish. But no matter how you choose to cook them, make sure you serve them up with some traditional accompaniments. These sides not only enhance the flavor of the raspa baller but also add a touch of authenticity to your meal. We're talking melted butter, of course, which adds a rich, creamy texture that complements the dumplings perfectly. The butter seeps into the raspy baller, making each bite even more indulgent. Some cured meats for a salty kick, providing a contrast to the mild flavor of the potatoes. These meats add a savory element that balances the dish beautifully, and maybe even a dollop of sour cream for good measure. The tanginess of the sour cream cuts through the richness of the butter and the saltiness of the meats, creating a harmonious blend of flavors that will leave you craving more. Right, you lot, warm yourselves up with this one. Sod. This is a traditional Norwegian soup that's been around for centuries, and for good reason. It's the kind of dish that warms you from the inside out, perfect for those long, cold winter nights. We're talking tender chunks of mutton or beef, simmered slowly in a flavorful broth with root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and rutabaga. The key to a good sod is all about the broth. It needs to be rich, flavorful, and packed with the goodness of those slow-cooked meats and vegetables. Serve it up piping hot with a side of flatbread for dipping, and you've got yourself a meal that's both comforting and satisfying. Listen up, you festive foodies, because this one's a real treat. Pinnekjøtt, or cured lamb ribs, is a Christmas delicacy in Norway, and for good reason. It's a dish that's both impressive to look at and incredibly delicious. We're talking tender, flavorful lamb ribs that have been cured and air-dried, giving them a concentrated, almost gamey flavor. Now, the traditional way to cook pinnekjøtt is to steam it over birch branches, which imparts a subtle, smoky flavor to the meat. Serve it up with some creamy mashed rutabaga, boiled potatoes, and a side of lingonberry jam for a touch of sweetness, and you've got yourself a Christmas feast fit for a Viking king. Alright, you lot, this next one's not for the squeamish. Smalahove, or sheep's head, is a traditional Norwegian dish that's definitely an experience. It's not something you'll find on every menu, but if you're feeling adventurous, it's worth seeking out. We're talking a whole sheep's head, singed to remove the wool, and then boiled or steamed until tender. Now I know what you're thinking, Gordon, you've officially gone mad. But hear me out, smalahove is a delicacy in Norway, and it's surprisingly delicious. The meat is incredibly tender and flavorful, and the brain is considered a real treat. Serve it up with some boiled potatoes, mashed rutabaga, and a side of akvavit for a truly authentic Norwegian experience. Right, back to something a little more approachable. Fisksuppi, or Norwegian fish soup, is a celebration of the country's incredible seafood. It's a creamy, flavorful soup that's packed with chunks of fresh fish, prawns, and mussels. The broth is seasoned to perfection with a touch of cream, giving it a rich, luxurious texture. The beauty of fisksuppa is in its simplicity. It's all about letting the fresh flavors of the seafood shine through. Serve it up piping hot with a side of crusty bread for dipping, and you've got yourself a taste of the Norwegian coast. Now for something sweet to finish off this culinary journey. Ramagrat, or sour cream porridge, is a traditional Norwegian dessert that's both comforting and delicious. It's made with simple ingredients: sour cream, flour, butter, and a touch of sugar. The mixture is cooked slowly until it thickens into a creamy, porridge-like consistency. Ramagrat is often served warm with a sprinkle of sugar, a knob of butter, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. It's the perfect way to end a meal on a sweet note. Finally, we come to koldtbord, a Norwegian-style buffet that's a true feast for the senses. It's a spread of cold dishes, showcasing the best of Norwegian cuisine. You'll find everything from cured meats and smoked salmon to a variety of cheeses, pickled herring, and fresh salads. Koldtbord is all about abundance and variety. It's a chance to sample a little bit of everything, creating your own perfect plate of Norwegian delicacies. Thanks for joining us on this delicious journey through Norway's culinary delights. We've explored everything from fermented fish to creamy fish soup, and I hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the bold flavors of Scandinavian cuisine. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more food adventures from around the world. Now go forth and conquer those taste buds.